This week on The Rock, we see how our community celebrates Memorial Day. We take a look at everything our athletic director has done this year, and we talk to Officer Kellington about some driving safety tips.
13 strong, we are The Rock. We'll make the show until we drop. We'll bring you news and we won't tell you lies. Please watch The Rock or we will cry. It's made for students just like you. You're gonna wanna see what we do this week on The Rock. 3, 2, 1, we're live.
Welcome back to The Rock AHS. I'm Lucas.
And I'm Odin, and we have a great show lined up for you today.
This past weekend was Memorial Day.
For our first segment, Brian and Helen show us how people remember their lost heroes.
Yesterday was Memorial Day. However, most people don't seem to know what it really is all about. So let's talk about it. Memorial Day is a federal holiday that happens on the last Monday of May every year, and it's observed to commemorate those who have died while serving in the armed forces. It had its start on May 30th, 1868, which was then known as Decoration Day. It was done in order to commemorate the Union soldiers who had died in the Civil War. Recognition spread throughout the states over time. Then it became a date to remember those who died in the World Wars. Then in 1971, Congress had standardized Memorial Day to be observed on every last Monday in May. Today, people spend the day remembering their family members who had served for their country. They go to the cemetery to visit the gravesite and leave some flowers on a flag. It has become tradition to put a small flag on the graves of those who had fought in the armed forces. It is also a common tradition to fly the American flag at half-staff from sunrise to noon. And at 3 p.m. local time is the national moment of remembrance, where we all pause for 1 minute for a moment of silence. We went to the Memorial Day ceremony at Causland Park yesterday and asked some people what Memorial Day means for them.
So again, like many of my fellow veterans, Memorial Day is really important to us. It's sometimes a sad day, but we also celebrate the lives of those we lost too young. Some close friends of mine that I think about all the time. 6 very close friends, Steve, Gumby, Rhino, Paul, also known as Vinny, and Ken, and Salty. Most lost in aviation accidents, one during combat, and so for me it's always a poignant day, but I always think about them.
I really enjoy this ceremony. It reminds me of my 2 comrades in arms in Southeast Asia, flying H-53 Super Jolly Green giant helicopters, and they augured in the Tonle Sap in Cambodia. And I think it's always good to remember them, remember the sacrifice that they made, and the sacrifice we're all called to make as we serve our country. Thank you.
My name's Rebecca Hobbs, and Memorial Day means everything to me as an American, because I feel that no matter what our beliefs are, religiously, politically, it is the one topic that we should all lay that aside and thank those who give us the freedoms to have those opinions. And Memorial Day is every day in my heart. I don't spend one day without thinking of all of the men and the women, gay, straight, everyone who has served their country and has given us all those beautiful freedoms that we were just lucky to be born under the protection of. So,
People honoring our country's heroes.
One hero at our school is our athletic director, Mr. Ports.
I always see him supporting our school sports and activities.
In this next segment, Owen and Braden give us a look into what Mr. Ports really does.
Moved to Anacortes in 2016, and prior to that, I was in the U.S. Navy for 27 years, almost 28 years. And that's what brought me here. I finished out my career of service here in Anacortes, and then here I am at the school. Coaching's been a big part of my life since I played sports my whole life, graduated high school, tried to play some college football and realized that the genetics weren't stacked in my favor, but I loved the sport and had my first opportunity my very first year out of high school to assist with a high school team and I just fell in love with the coaching and knew that was something I wanted to do for the rest of my life. And so everywhere I've moved and lived, I've coached football, coached a little bit of baseball, but really my passion was for coaching football. So I'm lucky that I still can do that. Talk a little bit about like checking weather because of sports that are outside and having to reschedule that. So part-time weatherman, part-time bus, van, transportation guy, making sure that we have everything we need to get students where they need to be for the events is a big part of what I do. Scheduling with the other 16 schools or other 15 schools in our conference. And then there's so much other stuff to it. The equipment, there's budgeting, and interacting with students throughout the day is the best part. And when the bell rings at the end of the day, that's usually like really when my day starts. There's a lot of practices or events going on. So I try to be as much as I can be. And that's the best part of my job really, is seeing the students do the things that they're doing. Yeah, I think, I get up in the morning and I could be, there's a lot of jobs I could do that would feel like work, hard work of things that maybe aren't fun. And I wake up every day and I get to come into a campus of a high school where there's good energy. I enjoy working with the people at the school, the staff, administration, and being around the students is awesome. And so I get to do sports and activities that are really fun. People like to do those things, and so it's just a really awesome opportunity for me, and I love being a part of it.
What an incredible year we've had for sports at AHS.
Shout out to track and baseball for the performances at state.
Well, even though school's almost out, there's been some reckless driving around the campus.
In our next segment, me and Odin talked to Officer Killington about driving safety.
I would say the two most common violations would be not coming to a complete stop at a stop sign and then speeding in a school zone. So not stopping at a stop sign, think of a California stop. So even if there's a line and you go past that line, that's still technically a violation. So all four wheels got to stop before the line. And that ticket's $145. And then speeding in the school zone fluctuates. So if you have a standard 10 over, it actually increases. So I would say common for school zone, like 10 over, would be like anywhere between $250 to $300 for speeding in a school zone. It's just not worth going speeding and getting to your destination, a couple seconds earlier. So for example, when I was driving home yesterday, I saw a truck that just was flying, passing everybody, and 10 minutes later, we're at the same roundabout, and he was driving so fast, 15, 20 over the speed limit, passing vehicles unsafely, and we arrived at the destination the same time. So was it really worth it? Is it worth getting a ticket, having your insurance increased by 20%? Is it worth if someone jumps out and potentially hitting and killing someone? Is that all worth an extra few seconds? I think not. So get all your tech, like your music, your phone, get all that done before you start driving. So if you do need to call someone or send a text message, get in the car, put on your seatbelt, send your message, call, get your music squared away, and then drive would be my kind of recommendation, just so you don't have the temptation to start fiddling with stuff inside your car.
Wow, what a great segment.
I know, but that's all we have for the show today.
If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, please feel free to email us at therock@asd103.org, and make sure to follow us on Instagram at therock@AHS therock.
And with that, I'm Odin.
And I'm Lucas.
And from our rock to yours, have a great day, AHS.